sidekick Bethany here with
Kat Calm of Studio Sweat On Demand.
Yes, and we are talking about heart rate straps, and more specifically the MyZone Heart Rate Strap, because you guys have gotten on a lot of questions coming in about that. How does it work? Do I need a watch with it? Do I just wear the strap? So because Kat has one of those straps, I'm going to let her go ahead and fill you in on all the information you will need.
Okay, very good. So I totally understand why you guys are asking these questions, because these are not inexpensive. So, but I think it's well worth the money. So this is the MyZone belt. They actually call them belt, but belt strap interchangeable. And this is something that you wear around your midsection right here, so that this piece is right on top of your heart, okay? I actually tuck it underneath my sports bra. And what this does is it figures out what your heart rate is, what your current heart rate is. And then you have some sort of receiver that then, like a display that tells you what this is putting off. In other words, what this tells you what your heart rate is, and then whether you use an app or a watch.
Is that their display?
Yes, okay. This is the app, and the app is free. Or like I said, some people will use a watch, some people will use this and a watch. The other option, like, is in the studio, we have the big screen TV. So we have a system that shows everybody's heart rates. And that, in that case, is the receiver, okay? So you've got the heart rate belt, which measures your heart rate, and then you've got a receiver, which, like I said, again, app, TV, spinning computer, watch, okay? For the MyZone watch, you do also have to get the belt, okay, because it's just a receiver. Whereas there are some heart rate watches out there that the watch is actually the tool that measures your heart rate as well as the receiver. Now those are not going to work as well, and they're not going to be as accurate, right?
Yeah, I've had them. They're not as great.
Yeah, they're not as accurate. So the watch alone, the standalone heart rate watches, are not going to be as accurate as using the belt and the watch together. But you don't have to buy the watch. You can just use the app, okay? Or if you have a spinning computer like the one that shows the cadence, you can use that as well. Let me show you why I like MyZone in particular, though, and why we are using these straps in studio for the most part, or belts, sorry. First of all, just a couple of things about the app, and Eric's gonna do his best to kind of zoom in here, but if I were wearing the strap, if I clicked on Effort Stream, so I've got the MyZone free app open, it's gonna show me right here. Oh, hi, there's a text. I don't want you to see what it's from. It's gonna show you what your heart rate percentage is. So a lot of people will just have this sitting in their cup holders while they're doing their workout. Another thing that I like about it is the social connections feature. So you can see here, I don't know if you can see that, but these are all the people that I am basically kind of like MyZone friends with, and they can see my workouts and I can see their workouts. So for all of you on-demanders, it's a really great tool to connect with each other, and even the trainers at Studio Sweat. You can send us notifications that you would like to be friends with us. So if I click here on notifications, it's going to show me anyone who wants to be friends with me or who has liked one of my workouts or anything like that. So that's super cool. So that gives us the ability to kind of form this community.
That's fun.
It's super fun. So I can see, like,
Heather, Canada, you need to get this for your online
She
group.
has it.
Okay, good.
She is one of my social connections. So if you look at that, you know, you can see I actually do have several on-demanders here, and I'd be happy to be your friend, okay?
Aww.
Yeah, totally. Another thing that I wanted to point out is it has this activity calendar. So if I click on activity calendar, that's for April. So everywhere where there's color on here, that means that I did a workout. That's a lot of color. I've done a lot of workouts. And then if you click on that specific date, it'll show you like the specifics behind your workout. I did 2 that day, so that's why it wasn't showing me.
You overachiever.
That. I was a total overachiever, okay. And then the other thing is just the home screen. Like if I just go to home, it's really cool because I can see all of my social connections or friends. I can see all of their most recent workouts, and it shows me you know, these bars here indicate which zones that you were in. So sorry, Eric. The different color tells me what zone I was in. So for example, the yellow means that they were between 80 and 90%. So it's really cool. And then you get these points for the month, for example. They're called MECs, or yeah, I think MECs. They're called MyZone points. And it's kind of fun to see who gets the most points. And of course, it's based on your calorie burn and who
That's fun.
who was in the higher zone. So it's just a really fun app, and it's free. And so the belts are accurate. And the other thing that I like about the MyZone belt, and this is not an advertisement, by the way, for MyZone. I'm just telling you guys about it because we've had a lot of questions. But the other thing that I really like about this system and this belt is it's kind of self-calibrating.
It learns you.
It learns, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So you don't have to enter your resting heart rate, and because fitness level has almost everything to do with your heart rate zone.
So since you didn't have to enter that, did you have to wear that for a time, like when you weren't working out, so it would learn that?
It automatically does it. When you first put it on, it figures out that it figures you're in an ambient state.
Wow, that's smart.
Yeah, it's super smart. And then it takes each of your workouts into consideration to figure out what zones are actually your zones, not just averages. So all other heart rate systems that I've seen,
I had to put in my resting.
Yeah.
Or my ambient.
And a lot of people don't even know how to do that. This
Yeah.
just figures it out on its own. So I would say, to me, that was like the #1 selling point.
Yeah.
What that means, though, guys, don't share these straps first or these belts, because first of all, that's gross, because you could get a rash from sharing this, right? Ew. Secondly, it's going to kind of mess up your data if you do that. So make sure that you keep this to yourself.
One of the other questions that I saw about these is somebody asked, what does it feel like when you're wearing it?
Yeah.
And honestly, guys, when you have on your sports bra, you know how you feel like the bra feeling here, and it just adds to that feeling because you cinch it.
Yeah.
So it's not super tight, but it just feels like it's another layer to your sports bra. So I know somebody had asked about what does it feel like, and that's really all it feels like.
I don't even notice it.
Yeah.
I don't even notice that I'm wearing it, guys and gals. It's no big deal at all. So I wouldn't let that stop you from getting one. And like I said, other heart rate belts are awesome. Also, the Acuro is nice. Wahoo Ticker, like those are all good heart rate belts that you can use in heart rate systems, and most of them have apps available too. So you're welcome to get one of those. I just think it's important to track your heart rate zones, not every time you work out, but often, so you know that you're working in the right zones.
Yep.
Okay? All right, guys, and for those body sculpting, fat torching workouts, make sure you visit Studio Sweat on Demand.
It's raining fire.